what were the games you looked out for as a player?
First game was Boxing Day to work out if I could have Christmas with the kids at home.
Yeah.
Second one was where you played on New Year's Day, if you played maybe a couple of days after New Year's Day, so you could see if you could go out on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And the last one was last game of the season, so you could work out where you could fly to Vegas from quicker. What about you?
So so you genuinely didn't care who was first?
I wasn't bothered about the first game, though.
No.
I didn't care. It was more the ones like
The big
Christmas,
moments. Yeah.
New Year's, yeah. What about you?
No, I used to think, obviously you'd be on holiday now, you'd be chilling out, you're away. Obviously we bumped into each other a few times in Miami, shall we say. And, I think when the game come out and you knew who your first,
yes,
it made training easier. It made the gym runs and all of that. It just made it a bit easier when I thought, all right, we've got Everton first game. We're like, oh, brilliant, can't wait for that. And then it just makes pre-season just easier.
I think that's why you always wanted, like, first game, a home game, and, like, maybe a team on the bottom half of the table, so you get off to a good start. It doesn't always work like that.
Of course.
You can lose to anyone, but you didn't want back then a Man United at home. First game, you're like, oh, it's going to be a tough one, or Arsenal, Chelsea, or Liverpool back then. Yeah,
no, I think also as well as a striker, you're thinking, right, I might be able to get a few chances against whoever.
Just want to get off the mark.
Yeah, as quick as possible.
You start going 5-6 games, you're like, it's never coming. It's never going to come.
As we're talking about strikers, but anyway, just we're going to go into the Arsenal strikers next. But just don't forget, tomorrow you can hear all what Gabby and Anna Brazil have got to say at 9 a.m. You'll hear that live on talkSPORT. 24 hours from now, we'll have everything you need to know about the Premier League fixtures just being released. But let's get into this Arsenal strikers. We were talking about it before, wasn't we, in the breaks. It just seems that Arsenal are dragging their feet a little bit in terms of getting the striker. It's been a very heavy talking point since Arteta basically, should we say, bottled it in January, going to make that last little bit, get it over the line. They obviously went up front with Mikel Moreno. They have Havertz. It just felt like this is a season that Arsenal needed to get a striker in, and it just feels like they're still dragging their feet. There's not abundance of strikers out there, but are linked with the likes of Sesko, Gyokeres, Osimhen, Ollie Watkins.
Yeah,
don't seem to have got any of them through the door at the moment in time. What's going on, Gabs?
Well, there's talk, isn't there, that Gyokeres now has changed his mind and he wants Arsenal more than Manchester United. But the problem with the Gyokeres deal is, we've seen with Darwin Núñez, scored a lot of goals in the Portuguese league, come to the Premier League, not worked. Højlund done well in Italy, didn't work at Manchester United. Gyokeres is 27. Yes, he scored bags of goals last season, 54 goals in 52 games, but I don't know. I feel like Arsenal need to get someone who's guaranteed. Sesko's young at 22. He can score a goal, he can hold the ball up. 13 goals last season in the Bundesliga, but are they both... if you ask Arsenal fans, are they like, yes, want to get that over the line? I'm not sure. They're not 100%ers.
Do you know the weird thing for me, mate? When you look at Liverpool, they're just going, bang, let's get the business done now. So obviously, they've got Frimpong in. Wirtz looks like he's going to be done by the end of the week. Gyokeres. And then they're going, let's look at a striker as well. So they're looking like they're getting all their deals done. With the other guys playing in the Club World Cup, even Man United managed to get Cunha over the line and talk about Mbeumo. It does feel to me that Arsenal are dragging their feet a little bit in this really obvious part of the season, which everyone knows is the bit they need to get sorted.
Do you reckon they're negotiating behind the closed doors of they don't want to pay the exact fee that maybe Leipzig are asking for, Sporting Lisbon are asking for? Because the Sporting Lisbon chairman last week said, I haven't got a gentleman's agreement with you, Gyokeres. He's come out and said it. It's not 59 million. No. It's more like 75.
But my point is, Arsenal have played... when they've wanted Declan Rice, 100 mil, bang, done. So it seems to me like they're not. That's what I mean. It seems to me like they're not 100% sure that any of these strikers out there are the reason that get them done.
And Arteta's probably thinking, you know what? Yeah, we do need a striker, but Havertz can play there. Moreno showed he can play there. So
it's without being negative to both those guys, because I think they're both exceptional midfielders who obviously score goals when needed. None of them have been able to get over the line. For as much as everyone said this was a bad season this season in terms of the quality of the league, Arsenal still didn't finish first.
Yeah,
they still never at any point felt like they were going to go and win the league. I never for any moment thought they were going to win. They were also favourites by a lot of people going into that. So you've already seen that these guys can't get you over the line. So why aren't you going to get it done?
Yeah, maybe they will. I mean, we've got rest of June, July, half of August to before the season starts. Maybe they will get it over the line eventually, but I could imagine they're thinking, Gyokeres, 70, 75, 27. 27's not young now in football.
You say maybe they will get it done. So Zubimendi, by all accounts, is done and dusted. Yes. You've got goalkeeper coming in as well as a backup. Yeah. So you've found those areas and got it done. It just seems to me, and again, Arsenal fans are probably going to dig at me, but that's what else is new. I just feel like maybe there's an element now of Arteta being a little bit stubborn. And I'm going to show you I can do it my way.
I don't think he will dare do that. I feel that Arsenal fans now are like, all right, this season's your last season. Like, we need to go and win the Champions League. We need to go and win the Premier League. There's no more excuses of like, we haven't got a striker. Because when you watched Arsenal last season, even in the big Champions League games, Martinelli, Saka getting to the byline, crosses in, no one there. When you played as a striker, you knew where you had to be. You're getting them tap-ins, you're getting them headers in the right areas. Arsenal need someone that can go and score them goals.
Do you know one that's not linked? And I was just thinking about this. Like, who out there could they get done for? Let's say Arsenal don't want to spend more than 60 million.
Yeah.
What about Vissa for Brentford?
Oh, every day of the week. But he got 19 Premier League goals last season.
Yeah, but not even been linked though. Do you know what I mean? And I think he fits Arteta going across that front three. He can play anywhere. I just think that when you look at it, it just feels a little bit like, I don't know. It just feels like they don't want to get the striker. That's my initial feeling.
They're taking their time a bit.
Yeah, because
you don't want to pay 70 for Gyokeres. Don't want to pay 60 for Sesko.
But look at all the teams. So we looked at Liverpool. They've just won it and gone, bang, let's go and get somebody. Yeah. You look at Man City. They've had a terrible year for their standards. Still been very good, but for their standards, terrible. Bang, 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 get it done. You just look at Arsenal. It feels to me that they're just dragging their feet. And I'm really interested to know what Arsenal fans think. Why that is, why they are dragging their feet.
But mate, they have to get a striker. It's not an option.
Can they be
stubborn? They have to get a top striker in.
If they went and got, I don't know, a 19, 20-year-old striker. No. He's got to be tried and tested.
That's why the Sesko one for me, 22, still young age, and he scored goals in the Bundesliga. Gyokeres is experienced at 27, but do you want to pay over 70 million for a 27-year-old who's not done it in a big European league? They're the choices Arsenal are probably thinking. So I'm not sure.
Someone's just messaged. We've got Ryan who's messaging. Troy, that's so far off the mark in regards to Declan Rice. West Ham wanted 150 million. You don't go in and pay whatever the club wants. You have to negotiate to get the best price. You still paid 100 million.
Yeah, because you knew what Declan Rice could do.
Yeah, so I take the argument that you want to negotiate.
Yeah.
But if you're talking at the moment, let's say Gyokeres, right? So let's say it's 75 million. You go in at 50. You'd have tabled a bid by now, right? You'd have heard that. We haven't even heard that. That's the kind of point I was getting at, Ryan. But
like you said though, Declan Rice there, everyone knew he's worth that money and he's an outstanding player. You know what you're going to get. Cunha, Manchester United know what they're going to get. He's done it in the Premier League. With Arsenal, they're probably like Sesko and Gyokeres, very good players, but we've seen players come to the Premier League from other leagues that aren't as competitive and flop. They're probably umming and ahhing of like, don't want to pay that. I'd rather pay 50 for one of them players, not the big money.
Yeah, absolutely. We've just got a message. Someone said that the window's been closed. Yeah, that's why everybody else has done all their business and you haven't.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.